Welcome back, everybody. My name is ToothPistol49, and this is part 2 of the Smart Brewing Stand tutorial. Now, I did show you how to build it exactly through all the steps last time on the part 1, but I wanted to make a second part to kind of go through all of the questions and any problems that people might have, along with actually explain how all the redstone works and why I did it this way. And on top of that, just a few things to enhance your brewing stand. So let's go ahead and get started. I will go through a few things here. So first off, I was going to use this episode as a way to answer some of your guys' questions, any problems you had with this, but I was waiting for some comments, and I actually didn't get any comments as far as, any problems having it. So I'm assuming that anybody who tried to build this was able to build it okay, so that makes me pretty happy that, the tutorial was thorough enough. But I also wanted to go through and show a few things that you can add on to this thing to make it a little bit better. So for one thing, you can do a double chest right here instead of a single chest. That'll just give you a little bit more storage left inside of here. And also, you can just decorate something kind of like this, just have some stairs up and down right here, and put an item frame right here, show what kind of potion it is, and you can even label it. Do things however you'd like. This is just an example. Another thing that I'm going to show you guys is a really quick way to refill your water bottles. Now, when you first saw this, you probably were thinking to yourself that one double chest is not going to be enough storage, as well as it's probably going to be pretty inconvenient to actually access this double chest and get into your water bottles to refill it. But I have a solution for that. I agree it's not very convenient the way it is, but I basically did that on purpose because I'm just using that double chest as a way to transfer the items into here. So what you can do in order to fix that is go ahead and grab some hoppers, grab some chests. The more you have, the bigger space you can use, but I'm just going to use a few of them. And you can place a hopper right there, and you can actually do a double chest right here. That's already a lot more easy to fill up your chest from right there, but you can continue this on just like this, put a hopper facing in there, and do a double chest right here. And you can basically alternate this pattern all the way up as far as you want. Now I'm just going to stop right there, and what we're going to do now is we're actually going to put a hopper right there, and we'll put a hopper on top. Now we're going to put a stone slab on top of that one, and go all the way around with some blocks of your choice. I'll just use some iron for now, and make this too high, so just like this. Okay? Once you've got that, you're going to want to place a source of water right in there. And this is one of the fastest ways you can use to actually fill up all of your chests with water bottles. This is the way that I like to do it. And you can grab, a fence or a cobblestone wall, something like that, and just place it like this so you don't fall in. And if you go ahead and switch to survival, okay, and I've got all of these water bottles. You just look straight down and fill it in. It's going to fill up your inventory for now of water bottles. And as soon as that fills up, you'll just start throwing all those water bottles straight into there, and the hopper is going to pick all of those up and send them on through the chests and fill them up. Now I've gone through all those stacks, so we'll just keep going here. And as you can see, they'll just drop down in here. And what you can do also, these ones are kind of dropping in, but what you can do is once your inventory is full, let's go ahead and switch back to creative real quick. Okay, so I'm in creative. When your inventory is completely full, so I'll go over here and do that, you can make some way with a ladder or however you want to do it, with stairs or anything, just some kind of access up to here. And you can go into one of these chests, any of them, and you can just shift, double click into there, and it'll send all of those as well. So what you really could do is, just come around here and have some kind of ladder in order to access the top and use this for maintenance and refilling the water bottles. So you could have a stop right here that you can get off and go around and refill all of these ingredients, or you could just follow this up all the way with a ladder. Say there's a ladder on there, and just come right to the top and fill up your water bottles. You could even have a chest right here with empty water bottles, and you could, this is really all up to you, basically, how you configure this. But that's just an idea. That's just a little method that I like to use in order to refill water bottles. That way you don't have to fill them up and then transfer them into a chest. You just sit there and spam right click, and it's just going to fill them all up and drop them into the system. So if you go ahead and look inside of here, you'll see that that's all filled with water bottles, and we'll see how backed up it is. Okay, so it looks like it's only filled up to here, but yeah, that's definitely going to hold a lot more water bottles, and it'll be really easy to refill it. So those are just a couple of additions you can use to your brewing stand. It's definitely up to you how you want to customize it. I mean, you really could even come around and just put one hopper in there and do that little trick with the water just right here and fill it up. that's perfectly fine. It's just I like to use extra chests to enhance the storage. Gives me a little bit more of a capability of holding more water bottles, and you don't have to do it as often. But it's really up to you. Another thing is you can actually stack this along each other. I mean, I would leave a good 1 block gap between them just so none of the redstone interferes. But you could build a building and have, 5, 10, 20, as many of these as you want inside of the building, and just walk down and pick up whatever chest you want and get your potions and move on with your day. So that's one thing. Now for the rest of this video, I'm actually going to go through and explain why I built this smart brewing stand the way I did, and explain all of the redstone behind it. So, if you're not very good at redstone, I definitely recommend watching that. It might help clear a few things up. And anyways, if you do have problems with that as well, watching this video might help you to understand, why this is working and a way to fix your problem if you're having some other kind of problem. So we'll go ahead and switch over to that now. You may be looking at it thinking that it can be a lot more simple, a lot more compact, but there are a lot of different things and variables that go into making this fully automatic. For one, when you, so the way the potion brewing stand works is the hopper will actually suck out the items if it's not powered. So you have to have some kind of system that keeps this hopper powered underneath, and the hopper behind it that loads up the water bottles unpowered. So they basically have to be reversed of each other. And at the same time, you have to have that pulse extended long enough so that when it's triggered, it will pull out all of these water bottles, not just 1 or 2 of them. And then when that's completely clear, and then it releases and lets these these 3 bottles come in. So that's one of the more complicated things that you got to try and work out. And we'll go ahead and start off by right back here. This is a pulse extender. It's a pretty nice one, I found out, with just a couple comparators just facing out like this. And when it gets a pulse, you'll see right here, it basically allows this to slowly die out. So it keeps this powered long before this hopper gets unpowered. So this hopper is going to be basically powered back on and not let any water bottles or any potions through until everything's already done. And then these will start coming through. So that gives us a long enough pulse to do that. Okay, now let's go ahead and go up to here and explain how these ingredients are loaded in. Now the way these hoppers work is they're all facing, or all of these droppers are facing into these hoppers. And what you do, sometimes these droppers will actually be out of order, and so you may need to do a few testing and see which droppers actually trigger first. But what I would recommend doing is just wire it up just like this, and you can grab a piece of redstone or a lever or something and just flick it, see which droppers, put different items in each one, and see the order of the items that line up inside of the hopper. And that's how you basically determine which one is like this. You're more than likely going to have the same order with this one the first, this one the third, and this one the second, and this one the fourth. But I would just do some tests just to make sure. If you do want to extend the inventory on this, it wouldn't be too hard. You can basically put a hopper just kind of sticking out of the side right here. It will make the system a little bit bigger, but I really don't think you're going to use up all of this if you fill up the droppers completely. Now, the way we trigger this brewing stand to actually send another cycle and take out the potions is with a hopper clock, and that is down here. This is what sends out the pulse to basically start the next cycle, and it's timed just right so that it's able to suck out everything once it's finished brewing and load it up again. And the way that it's timed is basically each additional ingredient that you add needs 25 items inside of this hopper clock. So I'll show you right in here. You'll see I've got iron blocks, it's loading up, it's at 35, and I've got 25 and 45. So basically, since there's 4 stages on this potion brewer, we look right here. The number of items in the hopper clock is 64 plus 45, so stack plus 45 items. And if we wanted a 3-stage potion, we'll just go down 25 items, so it's 64 plus 20. A 2-stage potion is, just 59. And for a 1-stage potion, I mean, you could add a 1-stage potion and just go down 25 items, but I mean, there's not really much of a point to do an automatic brewing stand if that's the reason. So yeah, you can see that it just triggered again. So this thing's filling up pretty well. So let's go ahead and get on to the next thing. The automatic switcher, we can actually just go ahead and show you that right now. I'll just load up a couple more potions in here, and also let's grab one so that we can fill up this hopper underneath. So once that hopper is completely filled and it's all backed up like that as well, you'll see that this comparator is triggered. Now this comparator right here is comparing the two signals from here and from here. This redstone block is giving out an output of 16. So this redstone wire right here is a signal strength of 15. Now the same thing for right here, this redstone comparator is giving out a signal strength of 16 as well, because this block, or this hopper, is completely full. And so that basically means that this block is 15, and this redstone piece right here is 15 as well, because it's touching it. So once the signal strength is greater than or equal to the one coming in from the side, the comparator is able to output a signal, and that basically turns on this this piece of redstone permanently, and it doesn't allow this hopper clock to move, so it's just basically stuck here. So as soon as all these items are going to go, this piston will not be able to extend back over here. Just like that, this comparator turned off, but there's still a signal right here. Now I know all of this sounds really complicated. I don't expect it all to make sense to you right away, but if you play with it and just kind of see how it works, it might make sense. But you can see that this hopper is completely locked. None of the items are going through. If we were to pull out some more items, I'll show you that right now. Pull out some more items. Oh, there goes the piston. So it's now it's not outputting a strong enough signal to actually make the comparator turn on anymore, because the stronger signal is from this redstone block right here. So the hopper clock is going now, and it's completing another cycle. Alright, so in order to get a signal from this hopper clock, we actually need to come around here, and you'll see that I've got a piece of redstone dust right here. And that is touching this piston. It's connected to this block right here where this piston is on, and this is basically a monostable circuit. So what that does is it sends one single pulse, one single tick of a signal along up to here. And right here I've got another pulse extender, and this is basically connecting to over here. So this is where it pulls the input from the hopper clock. So this is going to turn off this torch, which is inverting the signal. It's going to turn off this torch, and it's going to unpower this hopper while this little cycle is going on. And at that same time, this hopper back here is going to be powered. Now this hopper that's powered is the water bottles. So basically what that means is that all of the water bottles, or all of the potions in here rather, are going to be sucked out of here, and then basically right now it's turned off though, but when it's triggered, all of the potions will be sucked out, and the water bottles will sit here, and then after this pulse extender is done dying out, then it'll allow these water bottles to load back up in. Now at the same time that we pull out the potions from the brewing stand and reload it with water bottles, we also need to add in new ingredients. So that's where this redstone torch comes in. This torch is powering up into this block and keeping this torch off, but whenever it gets a pulse, it's actually going to pulse and turn this on, and this redstone will send a signal to all of these dispensers, or actually they're all droppers, and it's going to load them up into this hopper, and they're just going to basically get in line inside this hopper and get ready to be brewed. So right now this is completely full again, so I'm going to pull it out and let the system load up again, and you'll see that all of the things are lined up ready to be brewed. Now there's one final feature that I actually added on later with this build, but this is an auto detector for when there's water bottles, because this system can actually break if you run out of water bottles and you still have space inside this chest for more potions. It'll continue to run, and it'll pump ingredients into these hoppers, but it won't be able to actually brew them because there's no water bottles. So my fix to that is basically detect when we're out of water bottles. And the way we do that is with a comparator from this chest right here, and that powers this hopper. So this hopper is going to be always extended as long as there are water bottles inside of here. And then we've got a signal passing through it, so it's going to allow this signal to pass through and keep this torch off. So as long as there's water bottles inside of there, this torch is going to be off. And this basically just connects a little wire to back to where we have the auto detection system right here. Now, if those water bottles are out, this torch is going to turn on, which is in turn going to power this redstone, and it's going to pass right on through, and this is going to be permanently powered, so it won't allow this hopper clock to continue going and keep the cycles going. So if we do run out of water bottles, just like this, then you'll see back here, this piston retracts, and it turns this torch on, and you'll see this signal right over here is turned on as well. So this hopper is going to retreat back over to here, but once it goes back to, or this redstone block is going back over above this hopper. But once it gets here, it's not going to keep going unless we fill up more water bottles. So I hope that made sense to you guys. Of course, if you do have any questions, I'll make sure you leave a comment. And before we end off this video, I do want to make sure to mention that one other thing is there are some potions that require 5 stages instead of 4. So all you need to do is just face down a dropper just like this, or you could do it right in this position as well. Either one works, and then just do the little test that I showed you in the last video for determining which dropper is going to drop the items, in which order, and that's what you do. And then also you want to come around here and then just make sure that there are 25 additional items inside of this clock, and that'll give you the perfect amount of time to brew any kind of 5-stage potions that you want to do. I think the only one is actually a some kind of splash damage potion, but I'm not entirely sure, so you can just look into that if that's what you want to build. But that's going to be it for this episode. I'm going to work on some other tutorials, so if you do have any ideas or suggestions on another type of tutorial you would like to see, anything you'd like me to build or do, definitely leave that in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of thing, just going through explaining things. I may do them in my future things, I'm not sure. I just thought that it might be helpful for something like this because it is kind of redstone intensive. There's a lot of things that go into it, and it is a little bit messed up right now. I dropped some water on accident. But yeah, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and if you did, drop a like before you head out, and go ahead and share it with your friends. But I'm ToothPistol49, and I will see you guys next video. See ya!